Hi everyone. Today I'll be talking about our proposal to the Stretch Robot Pitch Competition entitled Multi-Modal Context-Aware Hazard Detection, Understanding, and Mitigation for Aging People with Visual Impairments. In this proposal, our goal is to design an assisted robot to improve safety of indoor navigation for aged people who may have visual impairments. We plan to use the Stretch Robot as our main platform. Aging people with visual impairments often have lower quality of life due to difficulty in doing everyday tasks. For example, a simple task such as walking through and cleaning your house becomes complex for them because they have limited ability to see and or move. Everyday objects such as rugs, boxes, or wires can become dangerous hazards, especially when the environment is poorly lit or cluttered. Other people may not be able to easily bend or kneel, even though they can see the hazard within the environment, leaving it unresolved. Existing works in hazard detection often result in oversharing, such as enumerating all obstacles in a scene regardless of their relevance, or are not interpretable, such as just emitting a beep if the object becomes too close. The idea of traversability is simply to estimate regions of some area which are easier to walk through than others. A clean hallway, for example, might be very traversable, whereas a room with boxes everywhere may not be very traversable. Hazards for aging people with vision and mobility impairments could be a frilled rug or a cable, which poses a trip hazard, which would reduce the traversability of that certain path. Existing works on traversability are usually for outdoors, like forests and fields, and do not have the capability to explain why certain paths may or may not be traversable to a user. Grounding language to help understand why a path is not traversable increase in safety. We can see here in the image on the right that a rug is noted as very traversable and doesn't explain anything. Once a hazard is identified and understood, the robot should be able to grasp that object. If it's too heavy or large to move, the robot can maybe try to move it with the base. Otherwise, the hazard will need to be avoided. The human robot team must have a planned path that takes into account the motion of the user themselves in order to retain maximum safety while navigating with the robot. Many prior works for path planning with the human simply expand some collision boundary of the robot by a constant amount to include the usual location of the human, but this doesn't account for actual human motion or walking patterns. So overall, using the Stretch's camera, audio, and laser ranging LiDAR sensing, the proposed system will predict the traversal regions and plan a path to navigate along, keeping the user in mind. Along the path, if a user needs to know about a hazard, then Stretch will announce the relevant hazard and then decide whether it is best to grab or otherwise move that hazard, and if all else fails, to plan a new path to avoid that hazard. Here's an example demonstration of how the system will behave using teleoperation. You can see that Stretch navigates the user far beyond the white knee-high wall to avoid any possible collision before continuing onward towards the desk. Thank you.